everybody, and a very warm welcome to Virtual Sim League's VSL F1. This is Season 10, round number 8 of the Championship. We head to the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix, a track that has not been on the F1 calendar since 2019, which is a very long time. Obviously, it got postponed quite a few times due to COVID, and we were going to get a Chinese Grand Prix this year, actually. It was meant to happen, I think, next week. But for some reason, it's not happening. People still want the zero COVID thing in China. But it's still on the F1 game, which is great news. Now, as you probably noticed, no camera tonight. I'm on my own. It doesn't make sense me being on my own with my own camera. So I'm obviously just got the thumbnail here. And we're here to bring you the action, whatever the weather, whatever the turnout, and yeah, we got 11 drivers again today. I think we only had about that much last week, or we might have had 13, I don't know, but hopefully there'll still be some action anyway. We got a dry session at the moment in quali, so we may as well, if I can find the scene, come on, we could get going. So, if you missed last week's race, where have you been? Last week, we were at Australia, and it was quite an entertaining race, actually. Even with less drivers, it was really, really good. And we did see Kieran take his first race of the season, first race win of the season, and Cam finishing in second, so he's got 2 podiums in a row. And we saw Mata in third. Casper scored well and finished 4th as well, which was great to see. And there has been some people that didn't do quite well, like Keza, for example. A few did not start either, which is not good. Ewan got his best result of the season as well. Mata finished in 3rd as well. So some big highlights for some of the drivers. So I wonder if we're going to have similar highlights tonight. So we're running on board, well, the outboard shot with Cam at the moment as he's past his turn 6. And turn 7. Now, this is a track which is very, very difficult in terms of tyre temps. You really want to be managing your tyres well. This is the track you also don't want too much tyre pressures, because I only found out just before the race I was doing in China, the last race I was doing, that I had high tyre pressure. So I quickly changed my setup and I had to turn it all the way to the left. And I was wondering why I kept spinning all the time, and it was because of high tyre pressure. So don't want high tyre pressures. As Cam's going down the back straight as well. It's very critical here to have straight line speed of, well, an alien. Because if you don't have straight line speed, good straight line speed, you're going to pretty much be vulnerable for people overtaking you, as I found out last night. And I was good. Obviously, you can be good around the corners, but if you're not good on the straights, which is a lot of straights around it, it's going to be very difficult. So 1:32.5. For Cam, he sits the first person to set a lap time. One thing I forgot to get was the tyres. There we go. As Casper has binned it in turn 7 and 8 there, so that's not good. Who will be the next person to cross the line? That is Simon Palmer, who's back this week, so we'll see what he can do in the Red Bull. Up to the line he goes, and it's a 1:33.7, so already some lap times on the board, but Cam setting the benchmark so far. Keza comes across the line in 2nd. Twisted setting a purple set to 2. Now, we got to talk about Twisted, because he had an unfortunate disconnect last week. He was very, very unlucky, and he missed out on so many good points. Luckily, he's still leading the championship, so there is a decent gap still at the top. So you can afford one bad race, but you can't afford multiple bad races. It was his 2nd bad race of the season. And then Twister comes up and gets 1/10 quicker than his teammate Cam, which is really great to see. We got Casper up to the line next. Even though he's spun, he's going to still finish his lap anyway. He probably will go again on his next run, but he's set at 1:54.4. Yarham's just started his run, so is G-Max. So, has most people done this first runs? Now, this track, believe it or not, costed about $400 million to make. And this is a track where we saw Nico Rosberg take the first win for Mercedes in F1 back in 2012. Which I have to say, when I was doing my research about this track, I didn't know that. But he did get the first win for Mercedes back then. So it wasn't Lewis Hamilton that took the first win. It was Nico Rosberg. So there you go. This was also the track we saw Michael Schumacher took his 91st and final Formula 1 victory. And that was ahead of Fisichella and Alonso back in 2006. So I will bring you some more facts as we go on. So bear that in mind, guys. So who is next? I did see someone on the back straight. Was it Yarham? Yes, it was Yarham. Now, let's talk about Yarham now, because Yarham has had a much better season than the previous seasons. He scored points in pretty much every race. He scored pretty much in double figures in every race as well. The only races that he didn't score points was he did not finish in round 6. Obviously, he didn't attend last week, but he comes across the line in third. So the Williams are definitely the benchmark so far. I'm actually trying to remember if Williams had done well in real life around here. I wonder if Montoya, actually no. Was Montoya in F1 in 2004? I can't remember, but we're not used to seeing Williams doing well around this track, so that is breaking the curse right there. So, Ewan, who's going to be the next person to cross the line, who scored very well last week in the AlphaTauri. Let's see what he can do here. Hopefully it's not a one race wonder for him. Comes across the line, P6, 133.512. Next is Tech 31 Racing, his teammate. Got away with a few incidents last week. He did DNF, but obviously since there were no reports, he didn't get looked at. So he's probably quite lucky. He's got to be wary of not getting involved in too many incidents. So we just have to obviously keep an eye on him. Driver's got to keep an eye on him as well. And otherwise there could be a lot of chaos. So we've got Waitsy as well, who's currently sitting in P10 in the standings. Another driver that did not finish, I have to say. I think it was one of his only instances where it was pretty much an instant where he was very unlucky and he spun and he hit the wall. So yeah, so it was quite tough for him, and he's got to really fight back this week. Make sure that he swings momentum back into his favour. The track is getting quite dry at the moment. And we have 12 drivers now because Finley has just joined the session. That is good news. So, Waitsy up to the line, 132.7 P3. So, the third driver into the 132s at the moment. Let's see what Matt can do. Can he get in the 132s as well? Probably a 133 lap. No, 134.9. So, I'm guessing still more time to find in that Ferrari. Now, I've just looked on the Tier 1 Discord channel on our VSL Discord server. And I'm not liking the weather. I'm not liking the weather at all for today's race. Shall I spoil it? Yeah, I should spoil it. Why not? It's going to rain for today's race. A full wet race as well. I believe it's full wet tyres. So, especially since we have less drivers, I'm on my own, it's gonna be interesting. And I'm quite surprised that not many people check the weather, because someone put it in the chat, and then people were like, oh, wet race. There we go. So, I think with many people not doing so quick lap times as we would expect, like Simon Palm, for example, and Casper, they probably have wet setups. They may have setups which are prone to spinning as well. So, you know, so the strategy, I was going to talk about the strategy as well, but it was going to be a medium to hard strategy, because you want to avoid the softs at all costs around here, but it's not going to happen at the moment unless it's changeable conditions around it. Anything can happen in Formula 1. So yeah, that's the weather, guys, around China. I'm not really that surprised about that, because Every race I seem to commentate around China, it tends to rain of some description. Not when I race, though. When I race, though, it's fairly sunny or dry, and it only rains towards the end, as Keza has just had a spin, so he's not going to improve on his next run. And I believe Matter is going again, just warming his tyres up again, I think, just making sure he has as much ERS as possible. But why not? You're not going to be using the soft tyres in the race, so why not? Why use the opportunity to go, why not use the opportunity to go on these soft tyres and just use them up? But it's a track where they do wear off very quickly. You don't want to be on it for that long, so I think Matter will be going into the pits anytime soon. So 132.2 for Twisted. Wow, so he is on fire at the moment in that Williams. Can Cam respond to Twisted lap time? And the answer to that is no, but he's gone quicker than his previous time. He was purple in the final sector though. He has done a 132.332. So, looks like no one's going to beat the Williams so far. Casper spun again. That was a bit of a tank slapper for Ewan, but he's going to go again anyway. Anyone else on a run? Simon Palmer? I wonder if Simon Palmer's going to go into the pits. Yes, he is. GMAT going towards... I already just talked about him, duh. But Matt up to the line. It's going to be... Well, he does not improve, so I think... Him thinking that he could go on tyres for a few laps, I think he could go faster. Well, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, unless he could find some more time in his back pocket. I'm surprised he has not using his ERS again. But there we go. Maybe we could see some surprises from him. You never know. So, I will talk a few bits about this track. Now, you're passing turn 6 now. And turn 6 is where we saw a really good overtake in 2018 from Daniel Ricciardo. And you really have to have the traction out of turn 3 and 4, because otherwise the run-up when you get into turn 6 is going to be difficult. We can see people going side by side there, but it can get a little bit risky in a way as well. And you can carry some speed through here. Go into third gear, head towards turn 12 and 13. Most important corner of this circuit. Throttle control is very crucial to ensure you get a good exit onto this back straight. And they will be pushing limits here as well. You can tell who's got the straight line speed and who hasn't. Was close. I think, was GMAT trying to get the toe off somebody? I think he was that. But that was very close to a disaster for him. That could have been, I think, that could have been a lot worse, personally. I just want to be sure that we're live, actually. Yeah, we are live. Okay, I was a bit worried that we weren't live. But anyway, GMAT up to the line is in P4 in that Mercedes. Looks like Tier 2 attendance is not faring any better either. It has about 11 drivers as well. So at least the drivers are on a similar boat. But we'll see. So I'm going to try and find someone to go on board a lap, actually, around this circuit. So we can commentate on that. So I think it will be Waitsy, the first person to set a lap time. So we will go on board with him to keep an eye on that. Now, the thing to mention about this track also, it has two 270-degree corners. And it's also difficult on the brakes as well. So I think trail braking around here is going to be important. We've got 3 minutes left to go of this qualifying session. And for those of you that are liking the action that you are seeing today, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and hit that bell if you are new. And also subscribe to us and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Our Twitter and Instagram is at VSL_F1. So, here we go then. Let's go on board with a Waitsy on a lap around the Shanghai International Circuit. So, heading towards turn 1. You're going to be around 6th gear through here, around about 60 miles an hour heading towards turn 2. Little dab on the brakes. And this is towards turn 2 and 3. Try and take as tight a line as you can throughout the first of it. Heading towards turn 5 now. 6th on exit of turn 4. And then heading towards turn 6. You clip the inside curb with your front right tyre. And second gear you take through there. Heading towards turn 7 and 8. It's simple once you know how to do it. But if you take too much throttle, then you're going to get it slightly wrong. Heading towards turn 9 and 10. As soon as you hit the DHL board, brake as you hit there. Be very gentle with the throttle through here. Tries to use a little bit of the runoff by running on the outside curb. Heading towards turn 11, 12 and 13. You clip the apex ever so slightly. Not too much, because otherwise it will unsettle the car. And then gradual throttle build-up is key to make sure you can carry the speed. And this is where you gain the speed around here. Let's see what miles per hour he gets. It's around about 200. I've seen people go a bit higher than that, so probably he doesn't have the best straight line speed in the world. But in part fair make conditions, you can change your front wing if you want to. Oh, wait, see, that was close, but he just about saved it. It could have been a much faster lap time. He is about a tenth down, unfortunately, so he does not improve. Cam, Purple set to 1. So he's found some time. Can he beat his teammate? That is a crucial factor. Keza warming his tyres. Ewan about to start his lap as well. So we'll go on board with Twisted first. No, let's not go on board with Twisted. He's about to start a lap. So let's go on board with Cam. And the annoying thing is, when I went on board with him, I didn't see if he was purple in sector 2. I don't think he was, but you never know. The Cam might prove me wrong and say, you know what? Oh, well, I am purple sector 2, but there we go. So, as you can see, he carries a bit more straight line speed than Waitsy then, so he's a little bit more comfortable with the setup. So, the more downforce you gain, really, the better. Cam, final 2 corners. You really treat it as one turn, really. Look at the speed he's getting. You don't want to run too wide through here, otherwise you will invalidate. Oh, about just under 10th. Slower than Twisted. He's not finding the time he needs, and he's going to stay in P2. The checker flag has fallen. The qualifying session has gone very, very quickly indeed. So he's going to be the next driver. Oh, it's not going to be you, and he's binned in. He's in the wall. He's lost his front wing as well, and he's out of qualifying. I did see someone else improve. I think that was GMAT that went into 5th position. What about Twisted? He's going through the back straight. I did see an Alpine, I think. No, it was Yarham, who's gone into the pits now. Well, I swear I saw another out. No, it was Finley, and Finley did not improve. Okay, that explains it. So let's go on board with Twisted then. I don't think he will need to do another lap, but maybe he wants to solidify himself and get pole position anyway. Up to 9 he goes. It's going to be a 1:31.926. Wow. I have to say, incredible lap time. No one was able to beat that. So congratulations to him. Pole position for the Williams driver once again. He has had 1 race win this season. Can he add another one to his collection? Interesting. So we will go through your order then. So Twisted is on pole by just under 4/10 of a second to his teammate Cam in second. Yarham is in 3rd. Waitsy is in 4th. GMAT 5th. Matter in 6th position. We got Tech in P7. Casper P8. Keza P9. Ewan P10. Simon Palmer P11. And Finley coming across the line in P12. And I managed to go through all the standings this time, which was great to see in qualifying. So whilst we wait for the race to get underway, we may as well go through the standings. Hopefully I did say the right standings. Yes, I did. So I did briefly talk about where Twisted was in the championship. Even though he had a disconnect from last week, he still leads 120 points to Cam's 90 points. We've got Jinx in third. Well, he's reserved now, but he's still fair in the championship anyway. Matter with his great result last week, his podium on 75 points. He's joint with Yarham. Charlie Harris in 6th on 59 points. 7th, Casper with 54. Yet another good result, which put him into the top 10. Both McLarens are now in the top 10. Ewan, P9 on 50 points as well. Ratesy on 44. And I will go through the rest of the results right now. If I could just scroll up to where I screenshotted the standings. There we go, because I've got all of it. So, yeah, so we got Keza in 11th on 42 points. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, that's right. Simon Palmer in 12th on 39 points. We got J-Luke in 16th, even though he's reserve. Well, he's in 16th. G-Max in 14th. I should have said him first, but there we go. Finley in 18th. The two Aston Martins are Iceman and Pete in 19th and 20th. So those are your standings. Constructors then. So we've got Williams, who are currently leading the way. We've got Mercedes in P2. Ferrari in 3rd. McLaren in 4th. Alpine in 5th position. Red Bull in... Oh. For some reason it says 576 on the constructors. Well, someone doesn't know how to count. But it's Red Bull up next, and it's Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri's in 8th, Aston Martin 9th, and Haas in 10th. So, without further ado, we are about to get underway with racing. I actually find it quite funny that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6 on the constructor standings. Luckily, they don't do graphics for constructor standings, because otherwise it would have been like quite funny, but there we go. So, one thing to mention then is make sure you check out our sponsor, PJR Designs. The guy that owns it is Speed Newgarden, who races in Tier 2. He produces some lovely steering wheel rims that look like there are steering wheels from different teams. I saw him produce the other day an Alpine steering wheel, which looks very realistic. He showed it to me when we went karting. It wasn't for me, sadly, but it was for someone else, but it looks pretty amazing, I have to say. And I'll need to find his Twitter, actually, if you want to get to go to the Etsy store for more information. It is at MattPJR53, and there should be a link somewhere, if I can find it, to his Etsy store. And I found it. I will put a link in the chat. So if you do want to have a look, then that's fine. Now, Casper was saying in the chat as well, he thinks that Twisted is on a dry setup. Now, that could be interesting. And I don't think you want to see the weather, guys, but I'm going to have to give it to you anyway. I did say it was going to be a full wet race, and look at that. Just look at the standing water that we've got here today. I think Aiden's very glad that he's missing this full wet race, to be honest. But, you know, hopefully we'll still have action anyway. Usually with full wet races, it gets quite boring in a way, because there's not much places where you can overtake in the wet. But the bad thing is there's going to be a lot of spray coming out from the cars as well. And if they get it wrong, it's going to cost them. And it's another chance for them to really capitalise on points. Because if you finish this race, these drivers get points. The top 12 score points in VSL. You also get points for fastest lap as well. So if you do get like massive rear wing damage during the race, if it's not that minor, I think it's important to keep going. And also, one thing that drivers may find difficult as well is if they haven't practiced enough. Time trial has been a bit of an issue of getting set up. So if you don't have a setup, and you usually get it from time trial, usually like me, but I tend to find race setups in time trial anyway, but because I tweak them a little bit. But if they do usually try and set up some time trial and then realise that they can't access time trial, then they are going to be in a spot of bother, so we'll keep an eye on that. So usually at this point we go through a set of the tyres, but obviously there's no point in that. So the strategy is going to be pretty much a one-stop, or if it stays like this, they don't have to pit. They do not have to pit if they don't want to, unless they obviously want fresher grip. It does last, apparently, according to the game, 20 laps, but they can obviously save a bit of tyre life as well. They can, and it obviously just depends on how wet the track is as well, because it can take a lot of standing water compared to obviously what it is on the inters. They haven't told me if it's going to be full wets for the entire race or whether it's going to be full wets and then inters, but that's the whole part of the fun, really. So sit back, everybody, grab your popcorn, as we are about to get underway for the fair of red lights, as GMAC unfortunately gets disqualified from this session. Naughty GMAC. Simon Palmer's done the same. Okay. And once the game decides to sort the timing tower, the 5 red lights are on your screens right now. Williams 1, 2, and we are underway. Let's see who gets the best start. Yarham has got a very good start, has jumped both of the Williams. Let's see if he can make the run on Twisted into turn 1. Yes, he does, from third to first. He does it in style. There's a lot of spinners in turn 1. Casper, unfortunately, has lost it, but everyone else has seemed to have got away A-OK. We saw Ewan taking the long way around into turn 3, unfortunately, but it is Johan that leads by quite some margin. Mata trying to go down the inside of turn 5, heading towards turn 6. You've got to be careful on the brakes as well. You've got to be very, very early as well. Mata trying to go for the send of dreams here on Cam. I have to say, Cam has had a really awful start. As he's starting in the front, now he's down into 5th position. So we will go through positions gained and positions lost in a minute. But there's some people that are on purpose trying to stay away from other cars to make sure they can actually see. Because just look at the spray, you can barely see it. It's, in a way, some of it is like monsoon conditions. I've had a situation before in league racing when it was a charity event and it was monsoon conditions and there was a safety car being called because it was too wet. There was another race as well. On, I think it was F1 2020, it was dynamic weather this time, and it was monsoon, and again, we had to pit under safety car. It was around Austria, and it was very, very weird. So, Cam then, and GMAC going side by side. Oh, a bit of love tap from the pair of them there. That was, I think, very tight for them as well, but Cam's starting to make his way up into 4th place. And with these wet weather conditions, they can't rely on DRS because DRS is disabled. And pretty much Yarham and Twisted pulling away. It is 2 blue cars, but not the cars you would expect. As Mata down, well, he was down the inside, but Ewan has gone off the track. So we are starting to see a bit of a field spread already with the cars, which is not too surprising considering the fact that it is China. So Simon Palmer and Casper have pitted already, so they're going on to a fresh set of 4 wets. So they did get damaged, unfortunately, but if there's a safety car, they will be back in this. And interestingly, the gaps have not fixed itself near P7 and P8, because apparently one of them's a minute and 52 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, and Kaza apparently is a lap down, but he's not. So that's the game for you, unfortunately. Yarham is absolutely loving life. I think I can tell, I'm almost definitely certain that Twisted is definitely wanting a wet setup. Otherwise, why is Yarham pulling away so much on the back straight? So Yarham was compromising his dry qualifying for the wet, which I have to say is pretty good. By the way, Waitsy up into 3rd. So Waitsy has had a really good start to this race. This is about time if we get position changes. So Waitsy up 1, Yarham up 2. I know he's at 1. Ewan and Finley has gained the most, up 3. Keza up 1. Biggest loser, Casper down 4. Tech 31 Racing down 3. And And Cam down 2. And looks like Finley is going to drop a few positions because he's in the pit again. By the way, the Alpine does look quite nice in the wet. It does, again, it does fit very well. Not much difference, to be honest, which makes it very, very hard to see in the wet conditions, like you're seeing there at the moment. So, Cam finally forgetting what happened on the first lap, and he's going to try go for a send in towards turn 6. Ooh, not much space left between the pair of them as well, but he keeps to his right-hand side of Waitsy. Waitsy has decided that, obviously, he does not want to, obviously, challenge him, so he wasn't going to. Yellow flag set to 1 and 2. I think that was just Casper coming out of the pit lane. And you can see already Cam has burned quite a lot of VRS. I'm quite surprised. I thought with it being wet, people assume that it's you're gonna save more ERS. You're not. It doesn't matter what on this game, so you've got to be wary of your ERS. No matter what the weather here at VSL. So we are about to approach lap 4 out of 28. Gap between Yarham and Twisted is 2 seconds. I have to say that's quite crazy. I don't think we may talk about much of Yarham because he's not involved in the battles, but it is starting to, I think, get even. I think spread out once more. Waitsy could be the closest, but he is losing ground onto Cam already. So I think since Cam did that overtake, Waitsy has lost some ground a little bit. As yellow flag, that is Tech again, I think, who's had a spin. Yes, it is. That will allow Simon to catch up. I wonder if Tech... Oh, careful, Tech. He just about avoided the wall. And luckily he does not get a speeding in the pit lane penalty. So he comes into the pit lane. Obviously onto the wets again. So no sign of the weather getting lighter anytime soon. As unfortunately, Tech has decided to retire in the pit lane. And we do obviously encourage all of our drivers to not give up when the going gets tough. So we're down to 11 now. I think he realised that the conditions were not as easy as it seems. Unless you have severe wing damage, it's crucial that you keep going. So hopefully he's learnt his lesson for next week. So Ewan, after that spin earlier, has decided, you know what, I'm not giving up without a fight. I've got the straight line speed and it's going electric for me. I want to try and get past the guys in front. Now this is a battle to watch out for between Ewan, Mata and GMAT. GMAT can hold his own defending other cars with this nature around this track. So you're heading towards the final corner. We'll see a few people going wide probably, so we will see a few warnings through there. So I wonder if some people are on a few warnings already because of that. So there will be some people exploiting track limits. I've done it a few times around it. Finley, by the way. Oh, Simon Palmer doing a bit of drifting in the hairpin. It almost allowed Finley to pretty much overtake it, but Simon Palmer just about holds his line through that. And let's see what the ERS are like. They're pretty much the same ERS, so it is even Stevens for the pair of them. So let's watch Finley go on board with him, heading towards T1. Is he going to chance it? Is he going to try and go down the inside? He's going to go for it, you know, cut back maybe on the outside. Towards turn 4. Simon Palmer using the apex to good measure. Still going side by side, 3-4. Now on to the entry of 5. And Finley could go through here. Finley is not afraid to take risks. I'm liking this. What way is he going to go for now? He doesn't care that there's no DRS. I think you can tell that he's either running medium or no traction because the way that the car just unsettles himself through corner exit. So I can tell he's either running medium or no traction. I think he might be running. I'm guessing he's running medium. But if you are running none, fair play in these wet conditions. Because I wouldn't want to be running no traction. I run medium traction, and yeah, again, even that's still difficult running in the wet. And Yarham starts lap 6 whilst we're riding on board with this battle. And surely Philly's going to have another opportunity now. He has the better straight line speed. And I believe also that Finley is using a pad as well. And it is really hard on the pad around it. So Finley. Whoa, almost lost it through there once again. Now we'll see who's got the fastest lap so far. Who's that? So fastest lap so far belongs to Casper, 149.9. So imagine where he would have been if he was up front. Oh, there's a battle. There is a battle for P5. As Matt is trying to go around the outside, to cover off GMAT. But he did that well. Ewan's lost a bit of time through there. But I have to say, fair play to them all. And I can't believe I missed quite a bit of that battle. But we'll make sure we'll cover it as well. And yeah, Ewan has definitely lost some ground there. But GMAT definitely hasn't in that Mercedes. GMAX is becoming a full-time driver, has definitely shone. And a lot of drivers in the VSL Tier 1 chat rate GMAT very highly. Because of the way he drives, and pretty much all the drivers that have raced him say that he has good racecraft. So there you go, GMAT. If you are watching this back, the drivers rate very highly of you, and I do as well. You are a very good driver. He's got like George Russell type helmet colours, and I like it. I really like it. It has a really nice shade as well. I really like that shade of blue, one of my favourite colours. So, probably showing a bit of bias there to the helmet, but you never know. And I'm not gonna go off shot for this battle, because you never know, something can happen and someone can make a mistake. So GMAT's lost a bit of time there. He lost about, I think, 5/10 of a second on Matter. So yeah, he struggled a little bit there. And Simon Palmer is wanting to go for me on Finley, it seems. I believe Finley did get past him. But Simon Palmer could fight back here around the left-hand side. They go into turn 1. Brilliant stuff if he could do it. But Finley's having like, nope, you have none of that. Cutting back on the inside. And that Alpine is a god in the wet. Finley up to 9th. Will some people at the back try just go the fastest lap, or will they try and gain for as many positions as possible? But really incredible racing between the two of them. Will there be some mind games between the two of them? I really do hope so. And because of GMAX off, that's allowed Ewan to find some more time. So he's in 5th gear through here. Honestly, you got to be very delicate with the throttle in the wet. And that's what Ewan is trying to do. He's going for the move early, but he doesn't. He was trying to pull to the inside. But I can tell he wasn't going to go for the move anyway, because he wasn't using his ERS. And you can see where the drivers are getting and losing time. To be fair, I wouldn't have fared better around this track. So honestly, the drivers that are still running are doing a very good job. And that is why I'm in the commentary box rather than racing, because I think in any of the tiers I would struggle. And you may notice that some people take different lines in the wet as well to try and gain the most speed. Sometimes I don't even notice about what line I take, because I do follow the racing line. That's all Ewan. Now, Ewan's definitely lost a bit of time through there because, again, he was too early on the throttle. You can tell which drivers have practiced for these wet conditions and who hasn't because of the way that they approach the throttle management. Simon Palmer then take 2. Oh, Jesus Christ, Simon. He was coming up for a mile off. But that, honestly, that could have ended in tears. That definitely could have ended in tears there. And I think there could be recipes for disaster if Simon Palmer does the same thing again. But we know he's a good racer. He's always very optimistic when it comes to races. He didn't send me a DM this week, but probably because there's some weeks where I do forget to read his DMs. Every week he always mentions like about him and his teammate and how he thinks he would do. Let me just check if he has, because he might have sent it and I probably... Yeah, he has sent it. He has sent me a DM. Okay, my bad. So, I think one thing Simon was struggling, and also Keza was struggling as well, was about the balance, find the right balance. There's either massive understeer in the fast right-hander into the back straight, or massive oversteers. So, yeah, I can agree with that. Usually around this track, I find the balance in China very difficult as well. So, I think that's why Simon has lost a bit of time to Finley there, because there's some points where you can have either too much oversteer or too much understeer. So, there we go. Might have said the same word twice, but there we go. It is VSL. So, whilst the race has quietened down a little bit, let's take a look back at some highlights for the Chinese Grand Prix. And good news for Twisted, but it may be bad news, I don't know. But most times, pretty much, majority of the times, the pole sitter has gone on to finish the race. Apart from 2007, which was Lewis Hamilton. I think it was mechanical issues, I don't know. Or was it fuel? I don't know. It was in the pit lane anyway. And that costed him the 2007 world title at that point there. And the Chinese Grand Prix in 2019 was when the 1000th World Championship Grand Prix was hosted. And oh my god, I just saw a funny fact whilst I was preparing actually. And after Red Bull's first victory in 2009, the British national anthem was incorrectly played on the podium. And even though the team's base is in Britain, the team itself is registered with the Austrian National Racing Authority. So from now on, obviously, we pretty much heard it 3 times this season in real life. That's why the Austrian national anthem is played instead of the British national anthem. So there we go. That is an interesting fact. I didn't know that. So where I wonder where in Austria it's based actually. Let me have a look. Red Bull. I'm a big fan of Googling. You can tell there's not much going on. I'm Googling stuff. Oh yeah. So it is. So Red Bull obviously is a brand of energy drinks, owned by the Austrian company Red Bull GmbH, and it's the most popular energy drink brand as of 2019, and 3rd most valuable soft drink brand behind Coca-Cola and Pepsi. So there we go. And it was introduced. I thought it was introduced in the 2000s, but it said it was introduced 1st of April 1987. 36 years ago. And it's based in Rankvalen-Voiberg was where it was originally based. So there we go. So that is an interesting fact about Red Bull. And whilst that's happened, it's good timing. I think G-Max made a mistake because Mata has caught up a lot. Or is it the other? It could be the other way around, actually. But a three-car fight for P5. This could get very intense. There could be... Well, obviously in real life, I wonder if there could be, like, DRS chicken. But obviously, there's not much DRS that fall... that pretty much are closer to each other, and even though there's no DRS anyway, there's people that would like... You got to rely on slipstream on the back straight. If you do not get the slipstream, you're probably going to be vulnerable to people trying to overtake you. And I think that's what G-Mac is suffering at the moment. But still in P5. No drivers to get time penalties so far, but I probably jinxed it there. As G-Max trying to use a bit more of the curb on the left-hand side to his advantage. Trying to cover off Mata. Let's see how much Mata gains on this back straight. So it was around 9 tenths. Now it's to 6, 5, 4. He's gaining a lot here in China. But to no avail. You can see G-Max is better off the corners. Ewan straight line speed, I have to say, is not very good, but he does gain on the corners. So you can see the pure opposite. Now, I was about to say, when will people think about doing their pit stops? Waitsy comes in to the pit lane. He comes in. And fresh set of wets for him, I believe. So he's not going to do the 0 stop. He doesn't think those tyres will get to the end, but fair enough. So he was doing about an even stint. Doing the undercut. I have to say, the undercut's quite powerful around it. I found that last night. So, if I were you, some people could try and get it done early. Will anyone else decide to come into the pit lane? The answer to that is no. So, wait, is he taking the gamble there? But obviously, because Yarham and Twisted and Cam were ahead of Waitsy, they probably know now that Waitsy's not anywhere near them, so they'll be thinking, right, Waitsy is pitted. Should I pit now to cover him off, or should I stay out a bit longer and extend the tyres and have a short stint at the end so I could potentially try and push? It's quite a difficult situation, really, to balance around this track. Now, if I was him, personally, I would try and cover him off. I would try and box straight away. Because usually, if someone pits before me, I would lose time. So if I see, say if I see my rival come into the pit lane, I'm like, yeah, I'm coming in. Yellow flags. I don't know who that's for. Probably just a bit of heat. Waitsy trying to get a bit of heat into the tyres, but Yarham is in. Twisted stays out. So Twisted decides to be like, you know what, I'm staying out. Yarham on fresh wets as well. Or will Twisted do the opposite then? Will Twisted try and stay out to the end? It does depend on where Yarham and Ewan come out. Will they come out in traffic? And the answer to that is Yarham is not come out in traffic. But he's closing in on to the likes of Mata and G-Mac. So he could catch him up before you know it. Waitsy has just about got ahead of Ewan. But the gap was, I think, a bit bigger. So I wonder if he was struggling a little bit around, I think, turn 6 was where I think he had the issue. So he is trying to get his tyres up to temperature still. But for the track like China, you got to find your groove a little bit. So this is where it's heating up even more between G-Mac and Mata. Where the drivers thinking about pitting, they got to make some moves. And you can tell if they're using their EOS a lot on whether they're thinking about pitting. So Mata, 59% battery. G-Mac, 48. So G-Mac is using more And I think Mata is going to gain some time again on this back straight. But he's using a bit of ERS. He's not using that much ERS because he's relying on his setup. As Matt doesn't get past that. And you got to know, obviously, about the setup of your drivers. If you know the driver in front has bad straight line speed, you don't have to use that much ERS. And maybe just use the power of the DRS when that's available in the drive course. Twisted is not staying out then. Twisted is coming in. So Twisted on fresh wets too. I do believe I said fresh inters earlier on. So if I do, I'm sorry. Now, what's the weather like, by the way, in Tier 2? Knowing them, it's dry. And it is dry in Tier 2. Lucky them. But I believe, was it wet at the start? No, it was wet at the start. So it was a wet to dry race. So into to start with, and then they went on to dries. Okay. And they've been on hard for 3 laps. Interesting. But it looks like in Tier 1, the weather's not going to improve anytime soon, unfortunately. But I have to say, Yarham, who's just pitted, trying to go around the outside of Mata, and that he made it look effortless, seamless. Absolutely fantastic from our race leader Yarham. And to be honest, I think he is going to catch up to the likes of Cam, even if Cam doesn't pit. So if I was Cam, he would lose out a lot of time just by staying out. So if I was him, potentially making his way into the pit stop would be the best option. But he saw the Twisted came in, so I think he would come into the pits as well. So is Cam going to come in? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Will GMAT and Mata follow suit? Because they are going to lose time with obviously the fresher tyres of the likes of Twisted and Yarham. GMAT does come in. Mata follows him in. Well, he had to, really. So pretty much everyone has done at least one pit stop. So no one is doing the 0 stop. I would have liked to have seen someone try for that. That would have been, I think, that would have been very entertaining. But, oh well. I did see people try it once in Japan in a league race. I think it was either F1 2018 or F1 2019 when they tried it. It was very cool. So where is GMAT and Mata going to come out? So Ewan's undercut worked wonders. So I was right in the undercut being more powerful. But is he going to warm his tyres enough? I was going to get a drink in a minute, but I may as well stay on this battle for just a little bit longer. As GMAT tries to warm his tyres a little bit. As Casper sets the fastest lap of this race. He also pitted a few laps ago. I think maybe Finley and Simon Palmer could maybe potentially pit towards the end of this race for fastest lap. Still a lot of spray coming from the cars, by the way. GMAX found a very good straight line speed there. Yellow flag. Oh, it's Casper. No. So Casper has unfortunately had a moment. That's gutting for him, unfortunately. Oh, VSC. VSC. So that has neutralised the field. Now, you do not want to do what I did last night. Because one small lapse of concentration and you get a drive-through. And that's what I did. Just one small lapse of concentration and I got a drive-through. So yeah, you do not want to get a drive-through. So, will we see the likes of Finley and Simon use this as an opportunity to pit? I would. It depends on, obviously, when the BSC finishes. So, Finley, brave, but sensible call. Simon, if the safety car... Oh, no. No, Casper. Casper's gonna hate me. I'm in a party with him in Jacko tomorrow. And he's gonna say to me, "Oh, you jinxed me! Oh no!" And yeah, and when I just talked about drive-throughs, Casper's got 2. Casper. Oh, Simon has gone for inters. Simon, were you meant to have done that? The track still got standing water. I don't understand why he's gone for inters. Brave's cool. He's done the right thing for pitting, but he's done the wrong. He's on the wrong tyre. There's still standing water, my friend, and he's still spinning. Yeah, I think he may have had inters selected, thinking that he wasn't going to pit again. Or maybe he's run out of wets potentially. I don't know. That was very unlucky for Simon. Unless he's going to get towards inter territory soon, which I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. But anyway, it happens. We'll see if he comes in again, but he's already losing a chunk of time. Just look at the gap he has between himself and Finley. 24.6 seconds. And it's going up. Now it's 25. Now it's going to be plus 26 seconds on Finley. Yeah, you do not want to be on inters. Because even if the driver's in front of you pit for inters later on, because of the time difference and how much time you lose in the pit lane, they're going to be ahead of you anyway. So what's the point? I just don't get Simon's decisions, but sometimes you've got to take your bet and lie in it, unfortunately. Sometimes I respect Simon Palmer for taking the gamble, for going on to inters, but nah, just not working for him. But look at the gap that Yarham's got over Twisted, by the way. 6 seconds. 6 seconds. That is insane. Now, the last time I've seen people dominate was Jinx, I think. I can't remember what race it was. It might have been, I think it was either Silverstone or no, it wasn't Miami. Miami had a bit of trouble there. I don't know. But, yeah. I have to say, this is good performance for him. Yarham has got so close to a race victory. He's got 3rd place at round 4. He got 22 points round 5, which I believe was the sprint race, but has not got a win this season. Will he add his name to the winners list after having such bad luck last season? I'm not going to say too much on him because I'm worried I might jinx him if I do that. So, not going to say anything more, Jess. Just shut up. Just shut up. But we do have 11 laps to go. Still all can change. Gap's now down to 34 seconds. He's drifting. It's like he's driving a rallycross car or something. Bless him. Meanwhile, the battle still goes on between Ewan, GMAT and Matter. In that order, Ewan took advantage in the pit stops. GMAT not able to capitalise so far, but he's going to be on newer tyres towards the end of the race. So maybe this is where he can start to shine a little bit as we head to the closing phase of this race. The final 10 laps can be very, very daunting for some drivers, but the atmosphere can be very electric for us commentators. Still some spray coming from cars. I did see GMAT going off the road a little bit. He had to go wide a little bit, maybe to gain a bit of speed in traction. I don't think the stewards are keeping an eye on certain corners. I think, obviously, they are trusting the drivers with track limits at the moment. Oh, Matter! Careful! That could have been a trip to the wall, but luckily there was grass there. I wonder if the conditions are getting worse, potentially. If the conditions are getting worse, then, oh God, I can't imagine what the drivers will be feeling like at the moment. But he's lost about a second on GMAT now. So, unfortunately, the battle that we were going to get has failed to materialise, unfortunately. By the way, if Simon's not careful, he's a lap down, isn't he? Is he a lap down? No, he's not. But you can see Yarham on heading towards turn 9 and 10 now. So he's not that far from being lapped. So Simon pit for wet. Even though you can see it's getting a bit lighter, it's not worth it staying out. You can tell he's drifting all over the road, but yeah, that's not doing too much. By the way, the gap is coming down to Yarham and Twisted at the moment. So I wonder if Yarham's struggling a little bit. Maybe he was pushing a bit too much. I don't know. Or maybe Twisted with the newer tyres, or maybe Twisted is pushing a little bit more now, but they will be on low fuel now, so they will really start to put hammer time. I think Twisted has been told that it is hammer time, potentially. If not, it may be in an equivalent word. So, we are about to start lap 20, so will be 9 laps to go from now. Still lots can happen in this race, even though there's big gaps. Still things can go right, still things could go wrong. Will we see surprises, or will we see some downfalls as well? Now, I will be back in a minute just to give my voice a little bit of a rest. Thank you very much. Welcome back to VSL F1. I've just got a drink, actually. So, a bit more hydrated at the moment. Obviously, it's hard to commentate by myself, so taking a bit of a voice break does help with that fact. So, there we go. Because obviously you don't want to speak for the whole race. But anyway, so a little bit of a recap as to what's happening at the moment for those of you that just obviously joined us. So, Yarham is leading the way, 4.1 seconds. The gap was 6 seconds, but obviously Twisted is picking up the pace a little bit. Twisted, we'll look at positions gained as well, just a little bit of a reminder. Twisted did start on pole, but obviously Yarham with a brilliant start. I am going to clip that and put that on TikTok tomorrow, but it was just like starting third around this track, I have to say, is a godsend. So I don't think I'm commentating on a China race next, but if I do for some weird reason, I'm gonna say to the drivers, don't start pole, just try and aim for third place, because you're gonna get a massive tow. But Yarham has kept the lead since then, but Twisted is pressuring him. Could we see a last lap overtake from the top two. That'll be great to see. Cam, by the way, is in third. He was fifth at the end of lap one. He had a horrific start, but he was able to gain a few places from some people, and he is back up into third place. Racey had a really good qualifying session. He is staying in fourth position right now, keeping it himself to himself. So as long as he stays where he is, he's doing good. He's got a big gap, obviously, to Cam. So unless Cam bottles it, Racey, unfortunately, is not going to get a podium. As Simon is out of the race, and he's binned it in the pit lane. No way. No way. Safety car. Simon's done a Lewis Hamilton from 2007, who's binned in the pit lane. Oh my God. Is it going to let me go on board with Simon? Or his car's gone. Nah, boo. We can see a bit of his end plate. Now, this has changed the complexity of this race, and we thought the race was going to die down a little bit, but bring it on. And I know, obviously, a lot of you that have just joined the broadcast, you have joined it on perfect timing. So there we go. Perfect timing. So good to see a few of you in the chat. But that was gutting for Simon Palmer to have lost it in the pit lane there. But there we go. So we are going to get, I think, a 5-lap sprint. This is going to be... So I think the gap that Yarnham had is going to be wiped out. So well, that gives the Williams a chance to get back in this, because they're going to have a really good tow at the restart. And I believe everyone will get their lap back as well and be... It'll be like lap one again, bring it on. And there'll be certain people that have probably don't have as much fuel, and they could save some fuel. And yeah, let us know your predictions in the chat, guys. Who you think's going to win? Will anyone go on fresh wets? I don't think it's worth it. As I said that, Yarham has decided, you know what, I'm coming in. If I was twisted, I would say... No, but he's not staying out. Okay. Cam's probably going to stay out. He is. Okay. That's what I would do to cover off, to make sure that you would keep it like that. G-Mac and Matt were still having a battle, by the way. As Yarham, here he comes out. So I think he's definitely watching the stream, because he's like, no, I don't want to be in front. I want to have a tow. I think that's what he's thinking right now. I think that's what he's thinking. So interesting from Cam to stay out. Has anyone else come in? So we'll get the tire life as well. So Yarham's come in. So it's Twisted. Waity came in a lap ago, so that was good timing for Ratesy. Ewan is in. Was in. So it was Keza. Philly obviously pitted as well. So the only ones that have stayed out: GMAT, unsurprisingly, Matter, unsurprisingly, and Cam. So what? People may wonder what I would do in that situation. Usually in safety cars, if I stay out on worn tyres, I just get swamped. So usually I come in. I did exactly the same on Saturday, but I bought my chance of a podium, maybe potentially a win, because the game was like, you know what? Even though I selected soft, it put me on wet. So, yeah. Was very annoyed. Could have been a chance for a podium, but there we go. I'm over it now. I'm over it. But anyway, obviously they can't select inters. I think the writing was on the wall with Simon Palmer because he chose inters, unfortunately. But he has a chance to recover for next week's race. What is next week's race? Next week is next week's race is Monza. Ooh, sprint race. Sprint race. The second to last sprint race of the season. I swear it's following the Jacko Car Kia Series calendar for like 2 races. Oh my god, because in Kia Series next Tuesday we're in Monza as well. I wonder if it's a coincidence. Interesting. But anyway. So we'll I don't, has anyone, no one's got penalties. We'll look at stops as well whilst we're at it. And it's not going to be that long until people catch up to the safety car. So, we have got Cam, who's done 1 stop. Yarham, who has done 2 stops. Twister's done 2. G-Mac's done 1. Matt has done 1. Ratey has done 2. Ewan has done 2. Kazza has done 2. Finley's done 3. And obviously I will be picking my personal driver of the day, which can go to anybody. But I have to say Yarham's start was quite incredible. So at the moment my driver of the day has got to go to Yarham. He's got to have a restart of dreams behind Cam if he wants to win this one. He has not won this season. So I think safety car will be in next lap. I can't, to be honest, I can't remember how long the safety car has been on for, personally. But anyway. Safety car's in this lap. There we go. So, are we ready for 4 laps of action that could get very topsy-turvy? Bring it on. And I'm gonna make some predictions. I know, obviously, people are gonna hate me for making predictions like this. I'm predicting that there could be some carnage. I think there could be some carnage, personally. But, you know, and like I said, anything can happen in Formula 1. So, Cam's going to be the one that controls the field. Yarham is in second. Twisted in third. Don't forget, Cam's on older wet tyres. The oldest of the field. Same with G-Mac and Mata. Can the fact that they've already been through the heat cycle be enough for Cam to win this race? Or will fresh tyres be the best option for the likes of Yarham, Twisted, Waitsy, Ewan, Keza and Finley? We'll have to wait and see. And we are going green. Matta's off. Matta's had a moment. Final corner. And it's not gone good for him. But Cam is already pulling away. And it's showing that the tyres have gone through a heat cycle. It's definitely helping at the moment. Twisted trying to get past Yarham. So him getting the toe for Yarham did not work at all. G-Mac holding on to full position, which I have to say is very good. As the field is bunched up, it can get very tasty indeed. We could see some brave moves down the inside into 6. If I was G-Mac, I could be the brave person, but I don't know. As you can see, Ratey almost trying to go for a move there. I don't want to go through the move in turn 6 and 7. That could cost a few people. But Waitsy could get the move towards turn 8. He does not. I think maybe wait to the next lap to potentially go for some moves. But they had chance to obviously save some ERS by being under safety car. And obviously they can use a bit of it as well. So here comes Twisted then. And Yarham chasing Cam down. I wonder if Cam's going to help his teammate a little bit here. But let's watch Yarham. He's using all his battery. Cam's trying to make sure Yarham does not get any slipstream at all. And it's working at the moment for Cam. It's hard to tell if they're harvesting or not because obviously the red flashing lights mean that it's raining. Oh, there's a big sort of squabbly moment at the back. Kez is now up to 6 down the inside of Ewan. Finley's up to 8th. Obviously, Mattis dropped down to 9th. Will Finley try and get the move here? We'll see. He could try and get past 2 cars if he wanted to, but if I was him, I would not do that. because that could end disaster. He could go around the outside here. He thinks better of it. Oh, he's going to be brave. He's trying to get past one car. He could get past another car here. We've got Keza being boxed in by Ewan and Finley there. Oh, a bit touchy between Finley and Ewan. Hopefully there's no damage there from the pair of them. I don't think there was. I think obviously Finley's going to try and go for obviously another attempt through here as well. And it is very monsoon type conditions, even though it's not monsoon, but it does rain a lot here on this game as people are trying to get a lot of grip. So maybe staying out for some people was the right thing to do. As Cam's still trying to stay ahead with a few laps to go. Twisted is looking like he's going to be ahead of Yarham at the moment, the way he's going, because obviously he has better straight line speed at the moment. And it's a shame. I think for Yarham, without the safety car, I think he would have won this race. But sometimes you get very unlucky at the moment. But it happens. As Twisted trying to go down the right-hand side, into the hairpin he goes. Finley, who's got the first time penalty of the session. Oh, it's 3/4 wide almost. So who's going to get second? Is it going to be Yarham or Twisted? Cam must be absolutely loving life because, like, you know what? You keep squabbling. I'll try and increase the gap up front. As Twisted round the outside, down the inside, sorry. Is he going to get a Williams 1-2? Yarham tries to cover off on the inside. Heading towards turn 4. Very tight, still side by side. They're leaving a lot of space. It's great to see. Twisted going for a send into turn 6. Oh, that could have been worse. That could have ended a lot worse. It's allowing Ratesy to gain a bit more time through there. But to be honest, Yarham's now up to second. Here's a Williams 1-2 now. Yarham's got to hope that he has enough battery to get past the two Williams to take the win of this race again. But unfortunately, it's looking unlikely. He's got 8% battery now. He's used all of it in the last few laps. Whereas Waitsy has got 52. Twisted has got 29. Cam has got 54. So obviously Cam has taken advantage of this because the reason why Cam has taken advantage of this because obviously he's in front and doesn't have to use much battery. But as I said that, he's using battery off the back straight. So there we go. As I said that. So final lap we go then for VSL F1 Season 10, round number 7 in China at the Shanghai International Circuit. Cam leads by 2 seconds. So he started in P2, did not get the best start, but the safety car has helped him. Yarham must probably... Sorry about that. Yarham must probably be feeling a... to be fair, he must be a little bit frustrated with himself. But that's racing sometimes. But Yarham has got to make the best of a bad situation here for the final lap. Matter's done a Simon. He's gone for Inters. Again, I didn't think that was the right decision, personally. But there we go. That's just me. But Yarham's found some time again. If he's got to think about the move, he's got to think about it on the straight. He's purple sector 2. He is the fastest guy out there. But there's one thing on catching a driver. It's another thing trying to get past the driver. This is it. This is the move he's got to be looking for. Cam is helping his teammates so much with the slipstream. Twist is now a second behind his own teammate. Johan is derating, unfortunately, so unless either of the Williams make a mistake, it looks like it could be a Williams 1-2 here. Cam heading towards the final corner. He goes up to the line, and he goes on to take another victory here at VSL. Twisted comes across the line in second, sets the fastest lap. Johan in third. Waitsy with a really good result in fourth. GMAT fifth. Keza sixth. Finley seventh. Ewan is doing some spins. And you got to be careful, my friend. You do not want to get disqualified. There you go. You're not getting disqualified. That's good. And that just leaves Mata going through the back straight. To be fair, if there was more safety cars, it could have worked. But unfortunately, that didn't. So, but he's going to come towards the final corner anyway. To still finish, still 9 plays is still good. But he is last of the finishers. So, Williams domination at the Shanghai International Circuit. A Williams 1-2. It all looks set to be a domination from Johan, but with him not pitting, that definitely compromised him. Imagine if he wouldn't have pitted. I think he would have won the race. He had the pace. But, you know, with him obviously leading, when the safety car came out, he had to make the call. He didn't know what the other drivers were doing around him, so he literally thought the other drivers around him were going to pit too, but they didn't. So we'll run through your order then. So Cam is on pole. No, on pole. Cam has won the race. 1:49.426, just 2 tenths shy of Twister's fastest lap, but Twister comes to the line in second. Johan third. To be fair though, still some decent points for Johan. Waitsy in fourth, GMAT fifth, Keza sixth, Finley seventh, Ewan eighth, Mata ninth, and we've had 3 DNFers of Simon Palmer, who binned in the pit lane, did Lewis Hamilton, but it was to be expected because he was on Inters anyway. Casper and Tech1 Racing. I believe 2 of them were on track. Actually, no, Casper was in the pit lane, wasn't he? Because he got too many drive-throughs. But there was 1 retirement on track, 2 were in the pit lane. So that is the end of VSL F1 this week. It was a quiet one, but it did get very tasty towards the end. It was a good start as well. Good opening few laps. But sometimes, obviously, it happens with league racing. But obviously, fingers crossed, we have a better turnout next week at Monza, the Temple of Speed. And I think Charlie Harris should be back by next week. So, obviously, if there's one track the Ferraris need to do well at, it's the Tifosi home track. Obviously, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo got to do well as well. One of the other guys will be able to upset those teams. Well, we'll have to wait and see. My name has been Jess Ball. Alien Cast will be back with me next week for round number 9. The season, by the way, has gone so fast. It's very, very quick. But yeah. So, I've been Jess Ball. See you next week. Take care, everybody. And if I don't speak to you before Sunday, have a good Easter. Hopefully, you spend time with your loved ones and, well, you can eat as much chocolate as you like. Luckily, I don't like chocolate. I know people are going to be thinking, what? But no, I don't like chocolate. But if you do like chocolate, go crazy with it. Just saying. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. Have a good evening and have a good Easter. See you next week for the Italian Grand Prix. Goodbye.